What's up, people?
You're locked into the
2PRO1SLOW podcast. Brought to you by
kexunderwear.com.
the best underwear in the action sport game.
Right, welcome back. Episode 20. We're in the 2 zeros now.
Is that how many we don't?
Yeah.
We don't have an intro because we still don't have a sponsor.
Oh, we might have a sponsor.
Oh,
It's not official yet, but we might have one.
who?
I can't tell you. I'll tell you after.
Any good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. We're still in talks.
Are we rich as fuck?
I will be. You won't.
Oh, fair enough.
No.
As long as one way is.
No. We haven't sorted a sponsor yet, but yeah, Kex Underwear. We're sponsor.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
we need a sponsor. Fucking, we just plug up. Sell sponsored by Billy's merch. Lovely merch. Best merch you can probably get. To be honest, don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
I think Stan needs some merch. We've got Stan back with us. How are you, mate?
Very good, thank you. You?
Number 3.
I know, yeah.
You excited?
Have you?
Yeah, it'd be going wild after this one.
Have you ever been on a podcast, Stan?
Yeah, third one.
Do you know what I'm going to do? While you two talk amongst yourself quickly, I'm just going to squirt the bottom of that chair with some WD so it don't make a noise.
Oh, all right.
Well, we haven't got a WD sponsor.
Motorex.
Yeah, get a bit more trick. Joker's what you want to put on that head. Oh, there's not much rattling going on here. Give it a test.
No better.
No, it's still happening. Just sit still.
I'll just hold myself.
God loves a trier. Right, so it's been 3 days since we filmed the last one, but we're making use of Billy while he's here.
Wally boy's not here.
Yeah, Tommy's on a training school.
Do you want to do some of these, Ed, or should I do them all?
No, you sign them.
Okay.
I don't know how to do your signature.
Don't you?
No.
These, by the way, if you do buy some of my merch, you get one of these choice. Well, you don't really get to choose, but you get put one of these lovely little things in.
They're outdated as well now. We'll do some new ones.
Oh
when we
yeah,
run
I've
out
just
of them.
realised. In fact, I'll fix them all before they all go out.
Yeah, you got the wrong hat on.
It's going to take a while to do all these now, innit? But I'll do it. Commitment. I'll go through and scribble out this star on my head on every one of them if you promise.
Don't scribble out the star. Just get them signed.
Okay, then. Can you just crack on then? Go on, I'll just be here in the background waiting for my turn.
Well, I think what we should do is have a catch up with Stan. We haven't seen you for... When did we last see you? On air?
I don't even think I've been on since after Germany.
He was steady
win.
on his last appearance anyway, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was me, you, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, Johnny.
Oh, you haven't been on since Johnny?
No.
That
well-
was before Poland. No, he didn't come on after Germany because he was elsewhere. He was
Well,
meant to.
Either way, if you was on it, no doubt you just spoke over him and interrupted him. So
Yeah, probably.
Always
Yeah, that's
does,
what I do,
doesn't it?
isn't it?
no, so we haven't seen you since Germany.
No.
Yeah, he hasn't been on since Germany.
Oh,
It's
how
been-
was
No. Mental?
Okay, I'll stop now.
how was the Getson win?
Getson was good. Getson win eventually turned out to be all right. A bit worried at one stage, but turned it around. Very worried at one stage, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was running around with a pit board, not too impressed.
No, well, to be fair, that was the weekend that me and Tommy come as well, and Tommy was ready to leave and go home.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have blamed him if he'd gone, to be fair. But no, it turned out pretty good. After party was probably the best.
Got some very good videos of you cycling your team boss's son's mini mountain bike around, actually.
Yeah, I had to ring him back up the next day just to make sure that I hadn't broke it, because I would have had to buy him a new one. But no, that was pretty good. And then straight after Germany, it just went straight into super enduro season, didn't it? So not really had much downtime. Christmas was all right. We had a bit of time at home over Christmas. Straight after Getson, we went to Spain. So I think we went suspension testing, didn't we? Straight after.
Yeah, you're not doing much of a chronological order here. Christmas, and then we went back to Spain after Getson, and then went to Costa on the way here, and then we went back to do some super enduro races.
Yeah, no, we did go Costa on the
It's
way.
just as it flows, Bill.
No, we did go to Spain. Getson was in beginning of November, and then I spent all of November in Spain. You came out for the first couple of weeks, or first week or so, and then had the first super enduro round. And then it was Christmas, which I wasn't here, so you probably sat around with your finger up your arse for a few weeks, did you?
No, I went to the pub and got pissed like everyone else does.
All right. So yeah, aren't I lucky? I give you the whole of the festive period off.
I think
mean,
I
aren't
think
you
I
lucky?
deserved it, to be fair.
Aren't you lucky?
And then into January, I think the first time I seen Bill in January was picked him up from Paris airport where him and Roxy flew back over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you slogged the motorhome out to Spain as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Took that out. Took a bike, 2-stroke out for him. Spent a week there. Then come back. And then he carried on riding. And I think the last time I went to Spain was I took him 2 new bikes, didn't I? Brand new ones.
Yeah, the race. Two new practice bikes. That's a nice drink spot, lad.
Oh, I've got our sponsors now.
Took both 2 new race bikes to Spain. Well, anyway, we're seeing each other loads at the Super Enduro Championship, which everyone knows how that went.
How did it go?
It went really well. If they didn't know, go and listen to the old podcast or go and watch one of my videos. I'm sure you can see. You'll find which ones they are. Thumbnails are lovely, aren't they?
When you said to me,
So low going on in the background today, isn't it?
when you said to me, I can't remember what day it was. It would have been the last day, Super Enduro. You were 1 moto short of going 15 motos, which is probably a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, because imagine the last day. Oh God, that'd have been stressful.
I was actually thinking, I can't think off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it was every single practice.
Nah, I didn't win every qualifying.
Was it not every
Israel,
qualifying?
I didn't qualify. Because can you not remember, Taddy went last in Super Pole and stalled it on the first corner.
Yes, he did.
So
that's true.
I didn't win every qualifying.
But other than that, I think
that was that qualifying session in Israel and the first moto in Budapest.
They're the only things you didn't win.
yeah.
Not first moto in Budapest.
So you won every single Super Pole.
All Super Poles.
All-time practice.
No, free practice.
All free practice.
All
sorry.
free practice.
Yeah.
I didn't win 1 time practice. And then that first moto in Budapest. Otherwise, I could have claimed it 15-0.
It was actually a good season for me as well because it was
Chilled this year.
Yeah, it was an easier season. The one before, we changed an engine every single round.
How come?
Because
Gosh, questions I had, Ed.
I didn't have to do as much work as previous seasons.
Because I'm gentle these days, that's why. Sorry, I'm talking over them. I'll just skip for it.
No, it was a good season. It's good fun.
To be fair, just the one race I came to, there wasn't really, other than new tyres, or changing tyres every now and again, but there wasn't really a great deal of stuff to change.
Snap my clutch lever, chucking my bike down after the finish line.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's after the race, so it don't really count.
And, well, it didn't really make much difference because you weren't allowed to do burnouts.
How come?
Don't know, I got told before the last round, no burnouts.
I did wonder why there was no dirty burnout.
So I said, they literally told us before the last race, said if you win the championship, you're not allowed to do a burnout. That was like, not the factory, they didn't care, the FIM and stuff.
It was the FIM that said
Yeah,
that.
said there's big fines going out for burnouts.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they were
Something to do it for 6 days, I don't really know.
Yeah, at 6 days, it was on an airfield, and at the end of the 6 days, I mean, you've just finished 6 days of riding. If you've won or whatever, just to finish is an achievement. So everyone was just doing burnouts, and they caused 60 grand's worth of. They had to do 60,000 euros worth of repairs.
Oh, for tarmac.
Yeah, on the tarmac.
That's bad.
On the thing. So that's why the FIM now have banned burnouts and stuff.
Oh, they're
like
banned everywhere, not just Super
Yeah,
Enduro.
well, I did hear that they'd also said at the first X trial round, they weren't allowed to do burnouts, and I thought it was just maybe them, but I guess it is just a.
Yeah, but they were doing burnouts this weekend, just gone to
there's a.
get the water.
I guess
towel.
there's a difference between burnout and warming your tyre up. There's wanting to
burn around.
put a tyre to within an inch of.
I thought the burnout rule would have been something to do with because you're in an arena, but
Yeah, maybe thought of that, but to be fair, I'm glad that he don't do burnouts because after Super Enduro, it's easy to clean, it's easy to wash, and then this idiot's done a burnout. There's all rubber up the back of the exhaust, all up the airbox, mudguard.
what are you signing on there?
I'm doing occasionally some little messages because I just thought so as part of this stack every now and again I've done some nice messages, so it's lucky dip. You have to go and buy something and see if you get one.
Your mint.
Your mint. Oh, I thought it said your man Bill. Go on, BB57.
So there's not all of them, fair few of them, but if you would like one, we don't do personalised ones, but if you buy one and you get lucky, you get lucky.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, back to the super enduro thing then. So you obviously went to all of them. What one was your favourite one? Israel?
No, that wasn't the thing. To be fair, I enjoyed the first day in Germany.
Yeah.
Obviously, to win the title and stuff, that was good. And probably the first round in Poland.
Yeah, that was my favourite.
Yeah, the layout of the track, and it was a nice arena and stuff, and it was good.
It's been a bit. It was delayed, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Or pushed on 3 weeks, was it? 4 weeks?
Yeah, it all turned on its head, wasn't it? Because Budapest was actually meant to be the last round, but that turned out being the second round. And then the 2 rounds from January happened in March, so it was all like, more than 3 weeks behind.
We were meant to be done the
First week of Feb.
Yeah, first week of Feb, and that was it. Game over.
So that all tits up. But anyway,
it's done.
where's Tommy today? Oh, he's just decided he didn't want to come after telling me this morning he was free all day.
Have you seen what Tommy made me do yesterday?
Film a vlog and edit it within the space of 2 hours.
Yeah, and get it out, because he was moaning that we were going to miss another Monday, and he was crying and crying. Even though he'll say he wasn't, he's saying, "You've been doing so much for Bill lately."
Oh, he wasn't.
And then he's like, "Can't you come and film me ride this track?" And he done this usual where he lies to me and tells me it's closer than it actually is, and get in the van, and then we're still driving. After he said it was an hour and 20 minutes, we're still driving. I said, "You've lied to me again." "I haven't." Anyway, we went to a track and filmed a vlog, and then...
How was he performing?
He got there, and the first thing he did, he went out on his bike and it started spluttering, and he hadn't done, or I don't know, I don't know whether it's him or a mechanic or whatever. Anyway, we had to change the ECU just a couple of clicks on, but to get to one of them on a Honda.
That's a big job, isn't
That's
it?
what I said to him.
That's a big
How
job.
much of a ball ache is that to change?
Big job. Luckily, he'd gone and done a lap, and luckily it wasn't wet, because if it was wet, it's like underneath the...
Oh yeah, it's horrendous. I've witnessed that a few times and just thought, wow, that's bad.
So yeah, we did that. Then he went and did a warm-up and 320s. So...
That's good.
The first bit of the vlog, we started watching, and I said to Bill, I said, "He looked a bit shocking."
Yeah,
He was a bit
plodding about.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was plodding about.
He's going to be heartbroken when he listens to this.
No,
and he hears you say that.
in the end, it looked like he was going good. In the end, as well.
That was his warm-up session, and to be
Yeah.
fair, he pulled onto a track where they'd raced the day before, and the ruts were a bit...
No, he just...
Did look hanging. Looked good though.
Is he recovered from Fat Cat?
Yeah, he's all good. He's happy. He's now off on a training school today. He is, and I think he's trying to ride tomorrow. Don't know where,
Oh, good.
but yeah.
I've missed him, to be fair. I haven't seen him for a while.
I haven't.
He probably ain't missed you either.
He has. He definitely has.
Right, I'm going to pull up some of these. I asked a couple of things, questions and topics.
I didn't get many questions for Stan, to
Did
be
you
fair
not?
on mine. Nah.
Yeah, but it does help if you did it more than 20 minutes before
Yeah,
we
I
were going
always.
to...
Do you know what? Actually, in fact, later on, I'm going to go in my story archive and get last week's up, because by the next day, I had loads of decent questions and topics, but I always just do the story a bit too late, really. And I will say, I can't remember who it was, but recently in the last couple of weeks, someone said, "How do we ask a question on the podcast?" I guess not a lot of people are as active on the phone, because we only really offer them on Instagram stories, and usually it's within like a couple hours before we film them. So someone asked how they do them. So the best way, if you know you're not going to be like on it and get reply to an Instagram story in time, is to just Instagram direct message on Instagram the 2PRO1SLOW page, and Ed will make a note of your question and it'll get asked that way.
Or watch an old episode and comment on the YouTube thing. That's probably the third best way.
But that requires also more memory from you.
Yeah, but I can have a flick through while you lot chat. But anyway,
I would have said DM 2PRO1SLOW on Instagram your question. Just say, "I've got a question for the next podcast. I'd like to know blah blah blah."
there's a lot of people asking about your love life, Stan. Have you managed to find yourself a girlfriend yet?
Want to think about this answer, or
No, as I say, I have been whining and dining one.
one?
Yeah, just one.
Can you tell us the story about the last one when the podcast aired and it sort of ended you up in a bit of trouble, or not?
I did it.
Which one was that?
One of the podcasts came out and we said something along the lines of have you got a girlfriend? You said what one, and then one of them got the arse.
Yeah, she got the arse. Yeah. She didn't speak to me for a bit.
Did she know that she wasn't the only one?
Well, she did after the podcast had come out. Yeah. Never mind.
Did you let her on?
No, I don't do that.
Someone here would like to know what it's like working with such a vulgar athlete.
Did you see? Did I mention in the last podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll not repeat myself. I'm just trying to act hard now.
But yeah, they want to know what it's like working with such a vulgar athlete.
I don't know. I do get wound up sometimes.
What?
When he is vulgar, it's quite bad.
Do you know what I
This is a rumor that needs to stop. I'm not even vulgar.
Now, do you know what I think's quite not funny but entertaining? From what I've seen at you at races, obviously when you race an outdoor, it's different because you go and ride your bike for 3 hours or whatever, and no one really sees you. But the indoors, you're in and out the pits quite a bit. But you actually have quite a bit of a laugh and a joke. And I said to Tommy said, "Oh, how was it?" I was like, "Yeah, sound like." He obviously bring some friends come to different races. I said, but if he wasn't winning, I don't think his team managers would be too happy with the carry on in the pits because he's got a lot of people just around him having a laugh and a joke. What do you reckon?
Me or him? Me. Yeah, well, you got an extreme example in Germany, to be fair. There's not normally as many of them, and they were all on form. I think the championship was close, so the alcoholic beverages were flowing from early on. So, but no, I am, in the same sense, I am fortunate to have very understanding bosses and stuff like that, and they kind of know how I work. I think everyone around, Stan included, can kind of see when it's going to be a good day or when it's going to be a bad day. So
happy Bill's a fast Bill.
They all kind of know probably when it's when I can be talked to, and then there's also days when I'm not in the mood to talk to anyone, and they know they don't bother asking us any questions. So I'm quite lucky that I would say everyone around us that needs to understands the situation. And like I say, you're not wrong. It was quite a scene that was being made at times in Germany, but everyone kind of just let it go.
The things that we were talking about in between, and just everyone was around.
The worst bit was the conversations after the conversations that were flowing afterwards when we were in the press conference area. It was just
on the Sunday night,
absolutely horrific. Thankfully, there wasn't really too many other people around for that, just because all my friends would have just been sanctioned if there was any general public there.
It was entertaining.
Brilliant times.
Does it stress you out at a race when there's loads of people around?
No, it only stresses me out when there's something to do. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, I check the bike pretty much straight away when it comes back, and then if there's nothing to do on the bike, then at the end of the day, we've all got to have a laugh and enjoy ourselves. But
at the same time as well, they've all been around bikes. Yeah. All of them lot have been around bikes, and if they know like when there's something serious happening, all right, we're going to disappear and leave them to get on with it. Like everyone understood, I think, the circumstances of Saturday, and knew. Have I gone off?
No, not that I know.
My headphones, they're back on now. Everyone understood how Saturday was going, and things were heading in the right direction, and thankfully there wasn't a lot of stress that was going on, so that helped and kind of made it probably such an enjoyable day for everyone, I would have said.
There's a question on here that says, do you prefer being a mechanic for the indoors or the outdoors?
Indoors.
Why? Easier,
yeah.
Easier as in
just the preparation beforehand of the bike, going to the races in general themselves, just so much more easier.
But you don't you feel like you see the bike more often, like it's in and out your hands? Or is that a better thing?
I mean, at the end of the day, they go out there and they ride for like 7-8 minutes. So as long as he hasn't crashed, or there's not a lot really that's going to be wrong with the bike when they come back in. So a nut and bolt and check over and make sure the rim locks are still in and stuff like that. It's with the outdoor, it's like, yeah, it's just so much more work. And
here's a question for you. Romania is obviously the hardest race to work at, correct?
Yeah.
What's the easiest outdoor race?
The easiest outdoor race? It was probably Megawatt last year.
Last year?
No, not Megawatt, sorry.
Hero
Challenge. It's just, at the end of the day, they're on the start line. It's a 3-hour cross-country race. you fuel them halfway through, and that's it.
Fuel twice there. That was actually
twice.
Fuel strategy came involved that day.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
I guess when you're doing like Romaniacs and stuff, you sort of set them off for the day and don't really know what they're going to turn back up with and what state the bike's going to be.
No, exactly. And like Romaniacs is just, it's like my alarm for Romaniacs is between 3:45 and 4 o'clock every single morning. Down for breakfast.
Well, them extra 5 minutes between 3:45 and 3:50 sometimes. Beautiful.
It's heaven. And then, as I say, we're like breakfast straight out by like, 4:30 to leave to the start, because at Romaniacs the start is always like an hour. So you're in the van. We need to be there like 15, 20 minutes before the riders so we can get the bikes out and just make sure, put all the GPSs in. So then the riders turn up like normal start of, is it about 7:30?
No, earlier.
6:30, isn't it?
Half six. Most days it starts 6:30. It was just that,
it was the time of the year, wasn't it, with the light?
Yeah. When it was the end of the year 2 years ago, it was still dark at 6:30, so some of the days started at 7. But on a normal schedule, it's between 6 and 6:30 we start.
Yeah, it's just say then they leave at 6:30. We're literally in the van. We probably got an hour and a half to 2 hours then to drive to the service area. Set that up, wait for them to come in. Obviously, we've got 20 minutes to work on the bike. All the stuff back in the van. Then we go to the finish, pick the bike up. So they probably finish about 2:30, 3 o'clock. Pick the bike up. Then we've got another hour and a half drive. Then back to the paddock to the truck. Then obviously by the time we get back there, find a jet wash the bikes. It's probably 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock before we even think about working on the bike. And then it depends how much damage and stuff like that. We probably don't finish till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and then literally straight into the food, have food, to bed, shower, and then it's like
you're
that.
just as flat out, aren't you?
It's 4 days like that. It's nuts.
What would you say, like, because obviously a lot of people would see Billy and most factory riders just their bikes mint every time. Like, in terms of in a year, what do you think Billy goes through? Because it's hard to really say bikes, because you sort of replace things, don't you? Frames, engines.
Yeah.
But like what in 1 year, obviously it's different with Super Enduro and outdoors, it's 2 different bikes. But let's just take outdoors, like a 300. How many bikes does he go through?
I bet that's been asked a million times.
Well, that's what someone sort of asked, but I've
To be
adapted
honest, last year I rebuilt it with the frame once. That was it.
One new frame last year.
Yeah, not many people know it, but last year, engine-wise, we did the whole season on one engine until we got to Getson.
On a race bike.
On the race bike.
And a different one for practice.
And a different one for practice. But obviously, it's very rare that someone can do that with the race bike, because obviously we have to stick by the rules. We get to a certain hour on the bike, and it has to be changed.
The America was obviously a different engine as well.
Yes, that's true.
So that's one nonetheless.
Yeah.
And Lagares wasn't part of the championship, so that was another bike. So we got lucky last year, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Why, you're only supposed to have one engine?
Well, no, you can have as many as you want, but it's once as close as they all are, every rider kind of prefers something. But then, it got to the point just before Getson where it was too risky to use it for Getson, so we brought 2 engines back to the UK, and I tried them both for a few days and picked which one I want, and did the job.
So he goes through. You don't really go through all that many.
No, to be like I said before, he's gone probably the last couple of years. He's gone easier. I'm not saying it's very easy, but he's gone easier.
Piss off! I'm a mechanic's dream now
on the bike. So it's a lot better from my side.
I guess things like wheels, though, pipes and that, like they're going to get smashed and dinged no matter what.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. You probably do like a race on it, and then it becomes practice for a few months, and then bin. Wheels, front pipes, I suppose. We'll repair them and then practice. Like, they're pretty similar, to be fair. Race, I would say one race, and then it goes into practice circulation for a couple months, a month, I would say 6 weeks maybe, and then to a couple months, just depending on, because obviously I ride that many different things as well. Like I spend a lot of time practicing motocross. So I ride a 4-stroke, and I ride my 450 a lot. So I'd probably go through a little bit less material practicing than someone that kind of only rides a 2-stroke and only rides extreme. So just depends really. It's hard to say.
Your super enduro practice bike was a bit hanging, wasn't it?
Yeah, that got a bit rough. But also, well, that kind of gets smashed around, and then the last few months, last few weeks of its life, the weather was pretty shit in Spain, so I didn't really know how I was going to ride it, when I was going to ride it, and I was there by myself, and I could never really be bothered to do much maintenance to it, so I was just like, probably only going to ride it once more before it dies, because the weather's not very good, so I just kept riding it, really. It needed a new tyre for like the last 4 times I rode it. But
no, that's the thing with super enduro, like training on the bike itself. It's so hard on only on
bikes.
Yeah, only on certain things like rear wheel spokes, subframe, just more mainly on the rear because of the impact of stuff when he's jumping stuff and wheeling stuff and hitting it. It's just, and the problem you've got as well, you do need to keep more on top of that than you probably would do when he's practicing on a 300, because you don't the things that he's jumping and the speed that he's hitting things at, the last thing that you want it to do is the back wheel to be loose or
just shatter.
Yeah, or just, as I say, things drop off. It's
what is it like when, from the factory side of it, like is it pretty much free for all? If you break it, just get a new one, or is there a budget, or do they say
it's just getting in this fucking country that's difficult. Thanks
yeah,
to Brexit.
as I say, there is no budget, and you can have what you want. If he needs it, he needs it. At the end
smashed
of the day.
it.
Yeah. But like I say, like we just got to a point now where we used like our last rear tyre the weekend. Obviously ordered some ages ago and no problem, but we just can't get it into England to do it. So they've been shipped to Italy, and then at some point we've got to go to Italy to pick them up. And
our drive back through was fine, wasn't it, the other day?
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Like you read what you're meant to do to drive in and out of England, and then I know people that have got all the paperwork and had problems. People that have got nothing had no problems. Me and Ed drove back last week.
Do you know what helped us?
well,
He got to the passport security thing, and he handed his passport in. Obviously had his Red Bull hat on.
yeah.
And the bloke went, "Bolt? Really?" And then he said, "Can I get a picture?" And wanted a full photo with
Yeah,
him.
that does
I
help.
should actually got that bloke's number.
And the
found out
woman
what-
just sort of opened the back door of the van and went,
But to be fair, we didn't actually have bikes. But again, no one really knows what you're meant to do at this moment in time. It's just hard work right now, innit? And it's like I say, no one really knows the rules. We don't really know the rules. We're just trying to not get in trouble. Just trying to ride bikes at the end of the day.
I'll tell you in a couple of weeks, once I've done this trip, to pick up everything, whether we get back in or not, or I'm locked up.
There's a question here about has Stan ever lost it with Billy?
Yeah.
Where, when and where?
Left us at Tong once.
Is this the backflip day?
Nah, that was that. He lost it that day. One day at Tong, I got a bit I had a bad race. I had a very bad race.
He was shit.
I was very shit, and I made. No, I was. That was a good day. In hindsight, it was a good
2018 January.
In hindsight, it was a good day because I developed a lot from it. But I finished and I chucked my bike down, and before I even looked up, Stan and put the bike in the van and left.
What, and just fully left him there?
Yeah, he had his own van, but I didn't.
Oh, he didn't say bye.
At the end of the day, he come in, he chucked the bike on the floor. The helmet went in the lake.
Didn't go in the lake, but
It was close to going in the lake. It was about a metre away.
God.
that was bad.
How old was you?
It was 2018.
So first year in,
Second year.
second year.
Start of the second year. I've been riding.
have
I've been
a
on the
guess.
factory team for a year.
Have a guess what some of it was to do with.
SAG.
Yeah.
Was it to do with SAG?
Some of it
But
was.
we were in a learning phase, the pair of us.
Yeah.
I was struggling to deal with it because I wasn't as mentally strong as I am now.
Well,
And
you
things-
love SAG, don't you? You love a check of the SAG, adjust the SAG.
We also, I think, we used a 350 that day, and I think some of the setup was also not as good as it. We learned a lot from it.
It was
I
a
would say.
super enduro bike.
Yeah, we
wasn't
should have had a
it?
13
So,
front sprocket on.
yeah.
12. Not that was making us ride so shit. Like now, our fully believe I would be able to ride round the issues that I was experiencing that day. But that day I struggled a lot, and then I got stuck a lot and revved the bike a lot. Before Tong this year, actually, someone posted a video from that day, and I was just thinking, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like halfway up a hill just revving the cock off this 350, like, and I just thought, what a fucking idiot. I look like I don't know how to ride. I've got like no technique, just sat down clutching it on the limiter, just thinking, what a fucking idiot.
I was out, the bike was in the van, and I was on the motorway in honestly, about 20 minutes after he's finished.
I think I had to actually phone him and say sorry. I think
No,
Roxy made us. That was Roxy's first tongue. That's why she doesn't like. That's one of the reasons she hates tongue.
She sent me a message.
What did she say?
I think I have to say sorry or something like that. But Roxy made us apologise to Stan.
It's quite a long message.
Roxy's made a better man out of you.
Yeah, definitely.
She's calmed you down.
But that is the main reason she hates Tong so much now.
Why? Because she knows he's got bad memory.
Just from that day. Because it was
bloke.
fucking basically snowing. She's obviously absolutely freezing. I'm there fucking punching trees and headbutting fucking whatever I can find.
We've been stood in the pits all day, freezing our asses off to just every lap for him to get abused as he's gone past.
What a bad human I was.
Oh dear. There's another question from J Corner 7124. He wants to know, how did Stan get to where he is now? I'd love to be a factory mechanic like him. It's probably quite good.
Good question.
A lot of people ask how to get involved in the industry.
What did you study again to get your qualifications?
I'm not going to lie, I ain't got no qualifications. I got common sense, that's what you need. No, as I say, I just started helping out riders. Obviously, you've got to help out decent ones to start with. You can't, obviously to get experience and stuff, it doesn't really matter who you help out, but I started like that. And as I say, I had a good friend of mine called Jamie McCanney, and I started helping him back in 16. Just went to different races with him, and he liked the way that I was working and stuff, so he ended up saying, will you come to the world rounds, will you come to this?
So when you say help, you mean help as in non-paid?
Yeah, non-paid, yeah.
And then obviously try and get a job.
Yeah, just try and get noticed that you're actually doing something and you're behind a rider. So yeah, that's how that thing. And then, as I say, Billy's seen that I was helping people, and he asked me to go to Spain. That started at 17, and that was that. So, and
your brother probably helped a bit as well. Like, at the time, your brother was working for Husky at races.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
and I obviously had a good relationship with Paul since I started riding enduro. He helped us out quite a bit, and then he obviously seen at races that I was kind of like needed probably a mate as well as a mechanic just as much, because everything was so new to me. And me and Stan met each other a couple of times that previous year anyway, and obviously knew of him, knew he was going to races with Jamie and stuff like that, so it all kind of just worked out nicely really. But to answer Lado's question, it's a difficult one really, because it's such a weird industry that way, and it's kind of just, like I say,
you sort of got to get yourself in somehow, haven't you?
Just get in one way or another. Similar like I see Fleming's now working for a motocross team, and he did his fair share of working for now and doing the shit jobs and just being around. And it's nice to see that he's got like himself in a proper job now, and like that's pretty similar to you in a way. Yeah. So it's a hard one. Just really try and get involved whatever way you possibly can. Obviously, you're gonna have to do some graft and some work for free.
It's like Lucas, Taddy's mechanic. He's just started. There was a World Enduro round in Spain, and he was obviously, he's only quite young now. How old's Lucas now? 27, 26, 27?
I'm not even sure, to be honest.
Yeah, he's something like that. And he just literally went to a world round in Spain, and obviously the factory teams and stuff were there. And again, he was just in the paddock. He got talking to him one night, had a couple of beers, just was there over the weekend, like just trying to help them and trying to do things. And then in the end, they said, will you come? Like he said, can I come to another round for experience and stuff like that? And I think he obviously got into it from that way. So
just Be around, lick the right horses.
It's pretty much it. It's the same. A lot of people ask me how I got into that media thing as well. I just picked up a camera and started making videos, and before I know it, the right people are asking you to go and do it for them by just being there and putting something out, really, I suppose.
Yeah, but you've got to, with all, I would say, industry jobs, though, stuff like that, you've got to want to do it and be willing to do it for a good portion of time without getting paid, or at least without making any money before you're going to... And again, doing that is going to make you meet the right person to give you the opportunity that you need, I would say.
Yeah, no, definitely. And as I say, a big thing, you've got to been around it and maybe rode yourself or been involved with it.
You've got to know what you're doing as well. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Someone said, have you seen Paul do any of his stunts for the movies?
He likes that question, don't you?
Yeah.
Have you been on any sets?
No, I've never. To be fair, I don't really go on any sets or go away. Obviously, Paul shows me videos and stuff that he's done, but I think if you follow him on Instagram or Facebook, you know exactly what sets he's been on and stuff.
Most of them aren't in England either.
No, they're all, as I say, a lot of them are abroad and stuff like that.
He came up here when they were doing the James Bond movie and Triumph for making, I don't know, whatever bikes they made for the movie. He rang and said, is there any way we can just test them before we take them? So I said, yeah, bring them up. And he jumped, it's gone now, but the double before the big double that used to be there, he jumped that on a Tiger something 900 Africa twin thing.
As I say, I think, like, with the film job and stuff with him now, obviously I know him and Jamie got quite busy with it. And
someone else would like to know, has Billy sorted you out with any of his merch, or has he charged you for it?
You actually haven't had any of this.
I haven't had one piece of merch.
Have you not?
Fuck off.
No. Okay, what did you give me a pink hat in Germany? That at the end of the Sunday, you said, "can you take that hat off and give it to matey on the podium, please? He wants it." So that's the only bit of Billy Bolt merch.
Well, he made you wear it all weekend.
Yeah, I made it. Yeah, wore it all weekend. Pink hat, and then he made me give it away to some guy.
How do you think all the boys got tickets? We had to sort the organisers out with some merch.
Well,
Don't worry, Stan.
I'm all right, and
I'll look after you, Stan. You got a nice hoodie.
Have you got none?
None? What?
I didn't even know he had nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
All right, Ed, send him. We can send him a discount code for some
Discount? You're not even giving it him.
25% off.
Yeah, you can shove that clean up your ass.
I'll send it you straight away, Stan. No problem. Just tell me what you want. Right.
Yeah, that's made me look really bad. Thanks, Ed.
Are you gonna ride the Welsh on a sidecar again?
No.
Did you do it on a sidecar?
Yeah.
Someone commented on the YouTube video from last podcast, and they've commented this many a times, and they so desperately want to see him and Billy and Tommy on a sidecar race together. It'd be hilarious.
It would.
But Tommy
mic'd up as my passenger would be amazing.
Tommy wouldn't.
No, don't do that. No.
Tommy wouldn't cope as a passenger.
My shoulder.
Like, if anyone's thinking about a sidecar, just make sure you're the rider. Do not be the passenger.
Why bad?
Were you passenger or rider?
No, I was rider. It was horrendous. My old mechanic. It was absolutely horrendous. You have to be so fit, so know what you're doing. It's horrendous.
If anyone's got a sidecar that we can borrow for the day and just let Tommy and Billy go on it,
yeah, be good.
Please get in touch. I'd love to see it. Tommy would moan, but it'd be so
my
good.
shoulder can't do that. Do you want to do some of these, Stan?
No.
Sure? No, do your signature on some. That'd be like a lucky dip.
Here you go. Stan, are you planning on doing any races this year? And if so, would you let Billy be your mechanic?
Yeah, well, we discussed this, but the date clash has...
You're going to have to do a discount code for whoever gets this one.
Well, what are you doing?
I put win £100.
Fucking hell. You like to cause me some grief, don't you?
Right, whoever... this is the one. This is in your order. You can have another order on me. £100. Oh.
I'll win that one.
You can thank us later.
Go on then. No, the question...
Sorry, I interrupted Stan. I talked over the top of him.
Well, no, we've been discussing this, and actually with Ed as well, that we were going to do a race. There's a race at the end of the year called Sea to Sky, and we were all on about it. It's like, how about like returning the roles and making a vlog
I think
where
that'd be a sick idea, to be fair.
where Billy obviously comes and mechanics for us, as opposed to us.
Does 2 bikes?
I think
To
they
be
do
fair,
both.
I'd rather you do both than fucking send Tommy. My God.
Yeah, no, Tommy.
No, like reverse the roles, make a vlog of it where we go training for a day and he tries to teach us what to do and how to ride, and then film us obviously at Sea to Sky. So that was the plan that we were going to do to make, but it clashes with
What is it?
well, it's Western.
Oh, yeah.
It clashes with Western.
Controversy. Neither of them's a contracted race. That'll probably go at the highest bidder, I reckon.
So
I'll put it out there now. There's been no bids so far.
So yeah, we do need to do something like that, I think. But it's just picking the right one.
Bit off topic, but there's a big debate going down between Stan and Mark, Johnny's mechanic.
Go on then. Well, about who can win or
Who's
something.
faster?
On what?
They wanted the Super Enduro track was talked about, but I think we should need to stage it. Here would actually be quite good. Maybe it's next time them two are in England, because we can do motocross and Super Enduro. Get the Charles bike out.
And flat track. We could have 4 stages.
Yeah. And the Woods.
Or 5.
We could have, so whatever happens, I think that would be quite a good one. I think it'd be a close match. I reckon stand for a lap, Mark for any more than 2 laps.
Yeah, but we ain't doing. I've told him that we ain't doing any more than 2 laps. It's
Out and out lap
it's,
times.
it's just
No,
a
I think
lap
we should
time.
do 3 so we can just watch you hanging out your arse at the end of it.
No, I'll train.
Well, maybe we should do 1 lap of each and then 1 lap where everything links.
Yeah, no, I'll be up for that.
Either way, that needs to happen. I think that'd be a good
it will.
entertainment. He's been talking the talk.
All right, well, we'll get on.
Mark was giving me some grief about it, to be fun.
And Mark's learned some terrible English. If you
Yeah,
think
he has.
I'm vulgar, you want to listen to the words that come out of his mouth.
Johnny's not taught him well.
Yeah, he's disgusting, his language.
Someone's taught him the word pillock.
Pillock,
because
he
that's,
likes
that's all he kept saying.
Little Pillock is one of his favourites.
Oh, dear. There's a question from E. Hughes, I think. How did Ed meet Billy? How did we meet?
Through Jamie. You were training for Romania.
Did I meet you before that?
I met you at Nations in 2015, but you didn't know who I was.
Nobody knew who you was.
Yeah, no one knew who I was. Even like Tom Neal and Rob and all that. I was with them all at Nations that year, and they've all got like videos of it together. But none of them. I didn't know who they were either. But we were all together at some tent rave probably. But
that's when you had a lap on Ferrandis' mini bike.
yeah, fucking wow! What a day! What a guy! What a day! I don't know if it was the same day or a different day. That weekend's a bit of a merge.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I met you through Jamie Dole.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Jamie,
Yeah.
we were training for Romania. I was working with Jamie at the time. So
I met you I met you then, but did I not meet you before? When did you get injured? When did you do knee? Before or after Romania?
No, that was a different year.
Romania the following year.
Yeah, that was way after.
Oh, was it?
I'd been up in... Anyway, you were training for Romania, and James was like, Ed obviously knew who you were from Tommy, from Johnny, whatever. So, Ed's doing Romania. You should go out riding together. So, came up here, you had your little lap up here, I took you up Calm on the
Yeah,
moors.
you did.
Do you remember that
Yeah,
day
yeah,
out
I
on your
do.
old KTM?
Yep, I remember.
That was actually... I seen a pic that come up on memories of that day was glorious sunshine as well. It was
It was.
this weekend and that day is probably the 2 sunniest it's ever been up there. So that's how we met. And then I was obviously just such a likeable fella that you wanted just to stick around. So I'm still here now.
Yeah, you're in. Now it's like having a bloody, I don't know, squatter. He squats at your house, doesn't he?
It's funny, and every Snapchat I probably send you, or every time you're on FaceTime to him, there's me in the background going, "Clean up, you messy."
It's so, honestly, I cannot believe. A week ago or 2 weeks ago, Billy came to mind. He's like, looking for some mountain bike shoes. He's like, cannot find these mountain bike shoes for the life of me. I'm like, well, where do you think you got them? Well, they're not at stands. They're not at home. They're not here. They're not at your house. They're not at this place. They're not there. I'm like, why have you got all your shit scattered about? He's like, Anyway, the other day when we were coming back from Spain, he went, I found them mountain bike shoes, actually. They were in my camper in the back.
They were in the van. And honestly, I'd turned your garage upside down. I'd turned my bedroom at home upside down. And I'd I thought I'd left the bag full of mountain bike stuff at Ed's house, but I hadn't. I've just left 2 bikes there.
The amount of shite he leaves everywhere.
You would not believe my...
Yeah, Stan's is bad at the minute, obviously, because we had some brand changing recently, so the amount of just shit that's left behind, wow.
Bad.
Every time I look at it, I just go, wow. And 100% order turned up at Stan's while we were in Israel. And his neighbour just let the delivery driver in with the boxes, so he didn't even know, and half his living room was took up when he walked in his front door.
There's about 8 boxes, massive boxes, full.
Hey.
Billy, talk to us about the twin shot you rode on the opening ceremony in Germany, and we'd like to see you riding it properly.
He couldn't even start it.
I'd like to talk to you about it, but I've no idea about it. It was a WR430.
Well, that's the vlog that I just told you about. It's not out yet, but I had a microphone on him whilst he was doing the opening ceremonies, talking to me, going, right, I'm going to try and get
I
up
talked to
there.
you until I started riding it, then realised, this takes a bit more riding than I'd anticipated. Yeah, the bike didn't perform amazingly, but it was 40 years old. It was 1982. We did plan to have a test run on it, but that got kind of thrown out the window. So I didn't end up even riding it at all until I rode out into the stadium. But it did the job. It was, I don't know how exciting it was, but I rode around on the stadium, got up the bridge, didn't get off the bridge because I couldn't start it.
No, we do need to see you ride an old bike, another one, like a one that's actually like a mint.
No, I've got a potential one. We just need a bit of time and some retro kit, which I know where I can get some of that from.
Oh, that was another thing that we can discuss. Have you seen his S3 gear competition?
Yeah, well, he did tell me about that yesterday.
We've had a few submissions
So
already.
there's a few coming in. Any more wants to come in? We've all had electronic ones so far. What I was, not that it's the be-all and end-all, but I was wanting like some printed out and get the pencils out and the crayons and do a bit of that.
Oh, you want some hand-drawn?
Yeah, I quite like some hand-drawn ones, but that's not the end of the world. I'm not necessarily saying that will definitely be the winner, but just a little nudge for you. We've only had electronic submissions so far, so don't be afraid of printing it off, getting your colouring pencils out and having a go that way. Obviously, you're then going to have to scan it or photograph it to send it back in, but either way, we can make a plan around that, can't we, Edward?
Well, they seem to be doing all right at the minute. We've had a few, so... Carl, I'm going to answer this question for you. Why has Ed got a motocross track in his back garden but doesn't like motocross? I used to like motocross, and I used to like my track, and then Tommy got here and he made it massive.
We need to get Ed a 150 stand. I kind of said I would do that on the last podcast, but I haven't made any inroads of doing so yet. But
I wouldn't hold my breath anyway.
I reckon it's possible, don't you? I'm Husky UK.
I think it'd be a good video for you, though.
Yeah, just scragging a 150, just hanging clean off it.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't go anywhere with my fat arse on it, so I could proper make it sound like it was working hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motocross 150, obviously. So
Yeah.
you can come to the track with me and Tom and just potter around.
Yeah. No, that'd be perfect.
Stan, can you give us the biggest regret or mistake you have done whilst mechanicking?
Ooh. I can't actually think of any fuck-ups from Stan. Can you?
You left any bolts loose?
Yeah, maybe the odd one, but not like... I wouldn't say it's anything big. And obviously I've realised that I've left it loose or whatever and gone and tightened it up, so he's never really noticed.
I
that
can't
I've
think
done it.
of
As I say,
a fuck-up which has cost really anything.
Not cost you a race or a position or anything
I
like
don't think
that?
so.
never.
I always think that a fuel stop looks quite stressful to do, or make sure you've filled it up enough or put the cap back on right. And
Yeah, some of the fuel stops are a little bit get a bit heated at times, but he's again, as I say, he's relaxed in the pit stop a lot more than what he used to. So they go pretty smoothly.
In the podcast we did the other day, there was quite a hot topic that everyone seemed to like, was the difference between a factory and a stock bike. What do you reckon your take on it is? Is there much difference? Would it make a difference if Billy was riding a stock or a factory? If everyone rode a stock, would the results still be the same?
I think so. Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
Good answer, Lee.
You put the same rider on a stock bike. I think last year in TKO when he rode Colton's bike, I think that showed that showed there really. He rode someone else's bike, completely different to how his bike is. I mean, it had 5 gears, not 6 gears. The gear, it was just completely different to, and the end result was still the same. As I say, I genuinely think it would be interesting to do a race where everyone's on stock bikes, just something different, you know.
Well, that going a bit off topic, really. That Red Bull Day we did, where it was like the horse racing track. I believe their idea was to try and put everyone on stock bikes, the same bikes, or at least stock gearing. To try
I
and
don't
make
think
it fair.
that can ever happen, though, can it? Because
Contracts, yeah.
to
Obviously.
be a big event, you need the big riders there, and to get the big riders there, they need their bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
But from discussions we had yesterday, I think that event is looking good.
Bill took me to London yesterday.
Oh yeah, tell us about your day out.
I was actually gonna vlog it then. I thought I can't be asked.
Yeah,
We
so
had a day out.
you had a day out in London to go to Red Bull to.
In the big city.
So how was it?
Good.
How's the Red Bull office?
Red Bull is
Impressive.
cool.
Impressive.
Very cool. It's almost not what you'd expect as well. Like I don't want to say like they're not a professional company, obviously, but like you'd think it was a very serious kind of strict environment, but it's actually not. It's like the most chilled, cool.
Well, you told me your
The
contract
atmosphere
was
was-
like the most
like
relaxed contract you've probably ever.
Yeah, well, I was expecting everything to be a lot stricter, to be honest, put it that way, and everything was very, very nice, and office-wise, like such a relaxed, cool environment, like all in all. I don't know if I had a false perception, because I guess when you look at the brand, it's not really very strict or serious, but you do kind of have an idea of a very professional setup, but not that it's not professional. I don't mean, I'm sound as though I'm calling it all trashy and shit here, which obviously it isn't, but it's just, more relaxed, chilled vibe than I was expecting in a nice way. Definitely enjoyed it, and the office is sick.
How many cans of fizzy pop did you drink?
No,
We only had one. We tested the new summer edition.
Did you?
Oh, very nice.
Don't know if we're allowed to say what it is, but it's Bad Boy. Tell you later.
It's in an orange tin.
Orange can.
Nice. You having a signature can? Have you discussed that yet?
No, I didn't. I should have, though. I should have just said, right, let's cut to the chase.
The vibe in the office
When's
was
the
just like
signature?
everyone's super nice people, and everyone getting up to
You've worded it well.
introduce themselves, and
It was a good vibe.
really good vibe.
Everyone's just happy to be there.
Yeah, everyone was just chilled out. It was nice. Wanted to meet Billy. Wanted to see people. As I say, that they said they had like 400 and something people working in there, and it's a big place. It's really big place, and I think, as I say, I think their vibe and Billy's personality and the way that Billy is, I think, as I say, they've just connected. It was real good.
Yeah, I was surprised, like not surprised, but it's a lot like there's not really many requirements or like rules. They're just like, we're not going to force you to do this. We'd like you to do this. We're not going to force you to do that. This is how we like to do things, and just that whole vibe and setup is very nice. And you can see, it's a bit of me, and you can see why it's so successful and why people are there for so long and stuff like that. So, all in all, just increased my love for the brand even more, I would have said.
How much stuff did you try and steal, or how many cans of pop have you ordered? And
Well, the storeroom department is changing location at the minute, so we got shown where the usual storeroom would be. Sadly, it was basically empty. But I managed to take what was left behind, and I haven't waiting for an email. At some point today, I was supposed to get an email to set us up with my own ordering account to just go large on whatever I fancy.
Spent most of the day putting trackers in his hats.
Yeah, I've got a load of Apple tags, and they're all in every app. But I did got a few more colours of hats yesterday. Still not loads, but we're slowly going to get there. We've got plenty of time to show them off.
oh, look at this! I've just secured your other sponsor a bit more airtime and happiness. It's S3. Thank you for your visit. Top video. Thank you very much.
I did like that.
They must have liked that. Bill's factory tour.
Bill's factory
Yeah, I
tour.
did,
We've got another
I did
Bill's
see
factory tour. We're meant to bring a set of Raptors today.
That was another thing I was going to ask you. Is that the plan this week? Do we need to go and film Bill's factory tour at Raptor Titanium?
I don't know if we're going to have time because I'd like to include riding in that video, and my wrist's not really that good for riding. Need to make a plan about that. But we are going to do a factory tour of Raptor. I've actually been before, and it's quite cool. It's probably not what you'd expect. A little bit more of a humble setup, but it's cool. It's cool that they make, because like, if you didn't know, they make pegs pretty much for just about everyone, like Star, Yamaha, Factory KTM, just about every factory team pretty much, one way, shape or form. And just to think that this little company at just like a small little workshop makes pegs that go all over the world, and to have won as many championships they have is sick, really. It's a proper sick setup. So we are going to go there. We were going to bring some pegs to put on in the desk today, but we also forgot that. So hold tight on that. But there's definitely more in the pipeline to do with Raptor. They're super keen, happy with kind of everything we're doing. Have give me pretty much free reign, really. They just said, we want to work with you. We like the podcast. We like the vlogs. We like the fact that you win races with our foot pegs. Just promote us as best you can.
Even a giveaway.
Yeah, we could do a giveaway, but should we wait until we've got actual pegs, or should we do a giveaway on you?
Well, we haven't done any giveaways because we
haven't got any sponsors. Fuck it, let's give away a set of Raptors.
All right.
Let's just blow the giveaway budget clean out the water.
You two decide how it's... But if it's one of your giveaways, make sure you give the fucking things away.
Yeah, well, what I reckon we should do is...
They could even be custom.
Yeah, because you might want 5 down, 5 back.
No, with they can put
laser etching.
Oh, can they?
Yeah, naming.
Wow, you're going all out now, aren't you?
Well, I just think we've got to up this podcast a little bit today.
Thank you.
Nah, I tell you what we should... No, what we'll do is we'll get 2PRO1SLOW etched on them.
Right.
And they will get put... What I reckon we should do is you make a nice little graphic for Raptor to post on their Instagram.
Okay.
That will time at the same time of this release.
Another job for me, Stan, this, by the way.
I can see
You might want to take notes. So anyway, you're going to make a nice little graphic for Raptor to post on their Instagram. So people are going to go from here to Raptor's Instagram to find the post which says Winner Sarah Raptors, which has 2PRO1SLOW etched on. That will be one of a kind, only one in existence.
For any bike, any model.
They'll make them to order for the winner.
Yep.
So it'll be for any bike, any model, any offset you want.
Do you not want to check with them first, or are you just going to say
I'm confident. No. That's how good a company they are. They're so easy to work with, and they're happy with what I do. They're just going to go with the flow, because that's what we do. Yeah, I like to work with brands that are just simple. There you have it. Massive prize up for grabs.
So how do they win this prize?
So you're going to put in this graphic you're going to make. Comment down below.
So they're going to comment on their Instagram.
They're going to comment on the Raptors Instagram post. Obviously, you're going to have to follow them as well. Go and follow them, because they'll like me a bit more if they get more followers on their Instagram page.
Right.
So that's what you're going to do. You're going to head over. It's our titanium. Ed's going to clip this up and make a nice little Instagram video for me to post.
Another job.
It's a big giveaway, this.
Big job.
Because this is your fault. So that's what's going to happen. On Raptor's Instagram page, at the time of this video going live, there will be a post that says something along the lines of win these pegs. It's going to tell you. You're going to have to comment on... That's how we're going to put you all in the draw. You're going to comment on Raptor's Instagram post. There you go.
And they're going to do it. They're going to post them out. It's going to be nothing to do with Billy, so you will get your products.
So Raptor are going to be in charge of making them. They're going to etch 2PRO1SLOW on them. And they're going to post them out. So it's all their responsibility. You don't need to get angry at me if in 6 months' time you still haven't got them.
Talking about giveaways, down by your feet, why don't you explain what's gone on here?
This was forgot. The winner's been announced, so if you were thinking you still might win it, there's only one winner. I've just picked him, and it's going to go in a vlog. This will be out sometime next week, this podcast.
Yeah.
Vlog will probably be about the same time. We have one more left. Should we save that for another day?
Save that for another
no,
one.
No more giveaways. No more giveaways. In fact, we'll try and get a Super Enduro one, because this is a Wes one.
You know, they've had enough.
Okay, they've had enough. What?
We'll do another giveaway with your other one at a later date, but that one's just...
Oh, the winner, if he hasn't watched my vlog yet and he's watching this, because he doesn't know he's won, so how's he going to...
Well, all of them are going to have to go and watch your vlog.
Go watch the vlog, because the winner, at long last, this was meant to be picked in December sometime. I'd forgot about it. Shock. I'd fucked up. Would you believe that I've actually got other things going on other than my YouTube channel?
Yeah. You have a lot going on.
Anyway, I'm back to editing this vlog as it's gone on. I've missed editing. You've been too busy lately. Well, I enjoy it when you do it because it happens a lot faster and it's betterly done. But I actually fully enjoy editing the videos. So, be back to it.
And off to Israel next week.
We're off to Israel next week.
This weekend.
Your favourite thing?
I know, yeah.
Not going into figures, how does Stan's contract work? Is it 100% Husky or is there bonuses with Bill?
There's non-stop bonuses for this fucker.
No, I'm direct with Husqvarna.
That's
a lie, actually.
Why?
You're not employed by Husqvarna.
Okay, I'm not employed by Husqvarna.
No, you're employed by the brand, the group.
No, he's not.
No, I mean...
Employed by Farioli.
Yes, Fabio Farioli, who runs the KTM Gas and Husqvarna team in Italy, where our enduro team is run from. So he employs me. Bonus-wise, I said this to someone the other day. To be fair, Billy looks after me a lot. I'm not going into figures or anything like that, but as I say,
just not
I've got one on here. Look, from back in 2018 when he won the championship.
Treat him with a watch.
Fucking much is what my bonus was for that championship back then.
Yeah. See, I'm a big fan of stuff like that because that's when every time you look at it, reminds you of something.
It's etched on the bottom and everything.
Yeah, it's etched on the inside. I can't sell it now.
See,
that's why I did it. I thought I'm fucking putting his name on this fucker.
But yeah, every year, every season. Yeah, as I say, looks after me a lot.
Every year he's expecting it now. That's not good, is it? We're going to have to drop him a year so he thinks, oh.
No, but stuff like that. I think when you win and people around you that help you, it's nice to...
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you're really, obviously, a mechanic, rider or whatever. Everyone, as I say, everyone puts in the effort to make the rider win a world championship and stuff like that. So, and it's good that Billy actually realised that where he's come from and the people that have helped him get to where he is, he's still, even to this day, like people that started to help him, still, I know for a fact that he still helps them and gives back to them what they probably give to him to start with. So.
Yeah, I'm still waiting, but I'm sure it'll come round at some point. No, I got a nice box of U-Swedes the other week, actually, didn't I? In the vlog.
You did. And
one for every day of the week I've got. I've got even 3 voice notes that have just come in.
What?
Every time you're on. George Wardle.
That's that village idiot.
Well, there's one here from the 4th of November, which I've never ever heard, so I'm going to play this. We might cut this because I don't know.
We should. You can delete it though, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, how's it going? Well done, Billy, for the World Championship. And what's up with wearing the Atojo boots instead of the Crossfires chirp?
Well, that was from the 4th of November, so that must have been for the West.
Legitimate question as well.
Outdoor thing, but...
I'd prefer the Atojos. I don't mind either, to be honest. The Atojos are very slightly lighter, which is better for my floppy foot, which I don't have much strength in for lifting and stuff like that. They're very slightly lighter and just a little bit more leather, so there's a bit more flexibility to them. But again, I like them both. Both City products are good. I feel the Atojo is slightly wider as well, which fits my foot a little bit better. Good question, though. Very observant. Well, a lot of people actually comment about the Atojo and the Crossfire, because at first I was kind of wearing both. When the Atojo first came out, I didn't really have enough pairs to only wear them, but now I'm 100% Atojo. I'm a believer.
Stan, when you get back to yours later, can you throw all of his red boots out? Send them all back to the factory.
Stan likes red boots.
I've just washed a set, actually.
Oh, no, they just look bad on your bike. You wore them at Tongue, I was like, fucking awful.
I'll be honest.
If you wear red gear, maybe.
I'll be honest. I ordered the red boots a while ago, and I was expecting them to go the whole setup to look better than it does. I don't love it. I don't mind it, but I don't love it as much as I was expecting to love it.
Good.
I don't know what colour to order next. Comment down below what colour boots I think I should order.
White.
I do like a white boot. Do you know why you like
boys, how's it going?
Oh, he's on.
Just a quick question for Stan. Why is it they call you the scanner?
Hey, good question as well.
Because when I've had a drink, I start dancing, and when I'm dancing, I dance quite low and put like my hands out like that, so it looks like I'm scanning the floor.
It's his dance move.
It's a dance move.
He's actually 3.
Come on,
All right, boys, how's it going? Just a quick question for Stan. Why is it they call you the scanner?
Oh, the same one. Hang on. He's not seen it 3 times.
Yeah, he probably has.
It's different.
Well, I think you should give the boys a trip around your local town. Show them what a real good night out is, eh, Stanner?
Can we come for a night out?
Of course you can. No problem.
You'll find him there, no doubt.
That's the only 3 voice notes we've got.
No one take up on them after the last episode.
No, well, I think it's a bit hard to figure out how to do. I'll try and work on a better way of doing them.
What we need is a link to a story that's going to take them directly to the voice notes section.
I've got that, no problem.
Have you talked about Cow on the weekend?
No, I did a race at the weekend, if anyone cares.
How did you get on?
Did a win. Will Hall made his work quite hard for it, though. Fair play, he had a good ride. Well, because there was a joker loop.
Do you know why he did well?
Why? Because you had Ride Nutrition.
Correct.
Yeah, Ride Nutrition. He was the first Ride Nutrition athlete, to be finished, and look how much of an improvement he's made this year.
Massive.
Massive. What am I saying? So there was a joker loop, which is a new addition to the British, or like an extreme racing, which is cool setup. All 4 stuff like that, which you had to take once in the race. Doesn't matter when, you just had to do it once. So I got in the lead.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
How did they know you'd taken that? Was there another thing for you with transponder?
Marshall.
No, Damo was there and he was in charge of it, so no one was going to argue with him.
What? And he was writing everyone's number down.
It was only for pro class.
Ah, right.
So it was
okay.
only like 12 people.
Ah,
11
right,
people.
not even that, was it?
I think it was about 10.
Yeah.
About 10 people. And it was it was bone dry. It wasn't as if everyone was covered in shit or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was new, which was cool. I was in the lead on the first lap, so I decided to go into it first lap. I thought no traffic, get it done. No one to kind of hold you up in there. And I didn't actually. It was at Cowan, which obviously where everybody rides all the time, and the Joker Loop was actually probably one of the hills that I do more often than not while I'm training. Bit easier than normal, bit more of a run up than what I usually do, and I did it horrendous job of getting up it. To be honest, I was off my bike twice pushing.
I saw a video.
Yeah, and then did you see the video of Will doing it? Where he just rode around it like feet up, mint.
No, I've not seen
so
that.
I made a bit of a hash of it. Not that bad, but I definitely lost time. Did it on the first lap, so I come back out probably in like 4th or 5th, or maybe probably like 6th or 7th. Passed a few people anyway. Got back up to Will, who was in second behind Will. On probably the start of the 3rd lap, would you reckon, Stan? Maybe it's end of the 2nd lap.
Yeah, third lap, I would say.
Anyway, end of the 2nd lap, I reckon, I got a pit board off Stan saying minute and a half behind Will. So I assumed he still hadn't done the Joker lane. So anyway, picked him up, the time up slowly, caught back up to him, and from what I could kind of gauge on him, I was catching him each lap. So I assumed he hadn't done the Joker lane yet. So I caught up to him and we kind of rode together for a bit. He probably had the speed on me, especially on the rough stuff. My wrist's quite sore at the minute, so I thought if I'm crashing, there's no way I'm picking myself up and continuing. If I crash today, I'm peeling myself up and getting in the van and going home. So I was always quite conscious not to crash. So he definitely had the speed on his and some certain sections. So I'm following him for a few laps, still expecting him to go into the Joker lane, and at no point he did. And my wrist got quite bad. And eventually, about 3 laps from the end, he must have made a mistake somewhere, and I got a small gap on him. Because the track wasn't particularly hard and quite grippy everywhere, it was difficult to bridge a big gap onto someone. You could make like a small mistake on a loose rock or whatever and lose like 10-15 seconds really easy, but because it was dry, you could see ahead a lot more. No real big stopper sections, difficult hills, what you were having to have a couple of goes at. It was difficult to make up a lot of time, so struggled I couldn't really break him, to be honest. Passed each other back and forth, but eventually he must have made a mistake somewhere. I think the end of the third last lap, and I got a little bit of a gap and managed to just pull that a little bit more and got about a minute in the end. But fair play to Will, he'd done the Joker lane on the second lap. So one of my it was going through my head to just follow him until he goes into the joker lane. So it's a good job I didn't do that, and I did try and put a bit of a gap on him during the race because I'd have been waiting for him to go in the joker lane, and he'd done it already on the second lap. And looking back at the videos, made absolute mincemeat of it. So that's how he was so far ahead.
I watched you on the live timing, and I thought, bloody hell, he's a minute and a half behind. What's
Yeah,
going on?
well, and
That's
I was
like
at one point.
47 minutes in. I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah,
It was, and to be fair, it was a long lap, so it was almost 20 minutes a lap. So, but I was this far from putting on the pit board. Wake up! You know what Tommy was talking about?
You said "come on" at one stage.
Yeah, I did put "come on."
And honestly, that irritated us. I thought, "Fuck you." But nah, it was good in the end. It was actually surprisingly, even though we're in March in the UK, it was very good conditions. I would say for the desert of Israel, how dry it was and how loose the rocks were.
Will is Tommy's mate, isn't he? Tommy likes Will.
Yeah, Tommy likes Will. Will does good tours. Tommy
Will
reckons.
took him round Tong and took him on a nice scenic ride, not a stupid get you stuck ride like Billy would have took him on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tommy's a big fan of Will.
Yeah, if Tommy watched any other sport than his own, he'd have probably been rooting for him that day.
Yeah, he would have. The amount of people that even that day come up to me, "Where's Tommy? Where's Tommy? And where's Ed? Where's Ed?" I said, "Oh, they're not here. Ed's not riding."
No, I will do it. I still feel a bit shit now. I'm a bit under the weather. Week with Bill's worn me out.
Yeah.
Where's the next British round stand? Do you know?
Helmsley.
Are they doing one at H2O?
Hawkston's the next
No,
one.
Hawkston.
That'll actually be quite good.
They're doing a British Extreme at Hawkston.
Hawkston, yeah.
Well, how's that going to be extreme?
You've seen the hill. They had a World Trials Championship at Hawkston.
Did they? The one I come to watch at Hawkston the other year.
Yeah, that was just across country though.
Oh, so it's a completely different track. to
Well,
that.
they'll be similar. There's quite a few hills at Hawkston and rocks, and I think you could make a good extreme there.
Oh, I'll be up for that.
Normally they have I'm not sure if they've got it bank holiday. So it's like when you get an event at Hawkston on bank holiday, obviously you get 3 days, not 2.
Yeah.
So I think they've got a British Extreme on the first day, sprint on the second day, and then like a normal 3-hour cross country race on the Sunday.
Oh, so they got plenty on.
Yeah, plenty on.
Wicked.
So yeah, just making the most of that. So obviously, I would have thought if we're here, we should be there.
I'll be in attendance, I'd imagine, at some point that weekend if there's nothing else on.
I might even get me a motorbike out as well.
Yeah.
Go on, should I have a look at mine?
Did you do some questions?
I said Stan's on the podcast.
I'm going to have a wee.
You're going to have a way, piss out your dick. Yes. I'll have a look for some pressing. Has Stan ever been on a podcast?
Third one.
Is Stan still a minge?
No.
Not anymore. Got to stop being mean. There's some fucking long-winded questions here.
Dear.
We're still in the garage. If you haven't noticed, Ed still hasn't arranged the fucking sofas to be brought back, which is annoying because the new setup's going to be so nice.
That's working, Mint.
Yeah, that's DC air conditioning. That
Is it?
Yeah. If anyone needs any aircon put in, obviously aircon does hot and cold. If you didn't know, our Danny Cockshot came and fitted Ed an air conditioning unit. Do you like your aircon, Ed?
What?
Do you like your aircon?
Aircon?
It's
Is that a question?
Stan's just said it's working good.
Yeah, it is. I like the air conditioning. It's nice. Did you tell him who made it?
Yeah, DC air conditioning. He's got his fucking money's worth, hasn't he? He's been heavily plugged.
Yeah, you get a nice remote like this, look.
Anyone else? What else can we get for free? Do you want to ask for what else for free from our lovely followers?
Don't know. I don't really want anything.
Hmm.
Do you want anything, Stan?
Obviously, if there's
Did you
things-
get your van all done out?
No, I didn't actually. And we had a few.
Yeah, I had
was
people
all-
wanting to do it for me.
Yeah, but no one really got the vibe of what he actually wanted to do. Everyone was like joiners offering to make wooden shelves, but
There is something I want.
what?
I want a gazebo with keks all over it.
You do, but you need a proper easy up, not a little
Yeah, proper.
Chinese jobby
No,
that's
no,
going to fold it
proper.
off.
I want a proper one. But I've been looking and I don't really know who to go to and who to contact. And I would rather keep it in the industry. So if anyone that's into the industry, motocross, bikes related, that does that as a job, I'd rather spend my money with you than someone I don't know.
Good idea. Ed runs a Kex pop-up owning easy up. What do you want, 3x3?
I want options.
Oh, okay.
I'll say I have one of each.
Yeah, well, I need one to send to the British Motocross to put the chairs under.
Oh, then you want a bigger one for
Yeah,
that, really. You want a
6x3.
6x3 and a 3x3, I reckon.
And then I also thought that just Andy to have
Yeah,
for ride days.
Ed
and-
wants a 3x3 and 6x3 pop-up gazebo.
And I don't want it for free. I'm happy to pay.
Give him it for free. What's Stan's favourite bike to work on?
610.
No, he's fucking won't touch it. And then now he actually just come around, he reckons he likes it now, but fuck him, he's not allowed to go anywhere near it because he was so negative towards the 610 at first. On that last video, it's actually quite good.
Have you seen the 610 in person
Yeah, I did see when he first got
when
it.
he first bought it?
Yeah. I ain't seen it since.
Go on, what's your favourite bike?
To work on, 125. 125 motocross bike. How easy them things are to work
Yeah,
on.
you
are
can get
unreal.
your whole hand through the
Yeah.
engine and that.
I'm working on one at the minute, and it's just like unreal, night and day.
Favourite motorway services car park?
Is that relating to this?
Well, it just says favourite motorway services for Dodge dealings.
Someone actually wrote one on there saying, has Stan been scammed again?
I haven't. I've learnt my lesson.
He's out the game. He doesn't buy no dodgy shit no more, do you, Stan?
I don't wheel and deal anymore because I haven't got time and I don't need to. Billy, I earn enough.
Busy with Bill.
Yeah.
What part do I break the most?
Throttle tubes.
Probably throttle tubes.
I break them.
Yeah, not as
Yeah.
much as Ed though. Or probably clutch levers. For some reason, clutch levers break way more than brake levers, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why that is. TOF. True or false? Did Stan once turn up a check with a beer in his bum bag?
True.
At where?
A bum bag in the middle. A check. So like halfway round an engine.
Oh, checkpoint.
Yeah, checkpoint with my thing. It was either going to sort me out or make me worse, and it sorted me out. So, bottle of Corona.
When are you going to... I'm going to address this because a lot of people are commenting and stuff. Do you know what it's going to be?
No.
When is Billy going to have Red Bull graphics on his Husky?
I'll continue this. I've also had so many people saying Red Bull and Kex collab. Now Billy's on board. Red Bull clothing. I was like,
There's a lot more goes into it than what you think. And also the bike. Red Bull is a personal sponsor of mine, so they have nothing to do with the team or with sponsoring Husqvarna. With KTM, it's Red Bull KTM. They're a team sponsor as well as personally sponsoring money and stuff like that. So, sadly, for this year, you aren't going to see any Red Bull on the bike, which is a shame because I agree it looks cool, it looks sick, but the bike has nothing to do with me, I'm afraid. Just to address to all you guys out there, I understand why you wouldn't know that, to be fair.
And from a clothing brand side, you're not allowed to print anything with Red Bull on. Same as graphics. There's certain people that are only allowed to print KTM and if I was to print anything
you've got to have
related,
a license for all of that.
I would
shit,
be in trouble.
So we don't do things to get in trouble. So anyway, that's best value for money on a bike other than suspension. I guess best upgrade. We did this, me and Tommy, the other day, but you can have a go at answering that. So you get a stock bike. I'll go off topic from this question a bit. You've got a stock bike. He's put other than suspension. So what's the
bike?
best mod?
Just any bike.
300 TPI Husqvarna.
Let's see if he says the same as you.
Other than suspension, what's the best value for money thing you can do to make it better?
You can't do anything. They're the best from standard.
Come on.
First thing you'd change on a stock bike.
First thing you change on a stock bike. Stock. Off the showroom floor.
First thing you'd change. Probably the brakes.
Tyres and mousses.
Oh, yeah, but you would have already changed them.
I'm not on about me, you tit.
Stock off a showroom floor.
Off the showroom floor.
Okay, yeah, it would be tyres and mousses.
Have you and Stan won more titles than any other rider mechanic duo in the enduro pit? Stan's got more titles than me.
Yeah, I got 5.
He's got one with Colton too. Who else might be up there?
It would be close because 9 times out of 10, the riders normally the mechanic off by.
Yeah, I was
by
going to
then,
say
so-
we've had a long go.
Yeah.
I'm guessing Niter hasn't kept the same mechanic for all his goes.
No, nowhere near. They might have won 1 or 2 with him, and then, as
Who
I
else?
say,
Taddy has got 6 world championships, but I'm almost certain he won't have the same mechanic for all of them.
no. We actually had lunch with his mechanic. He works in the factory. The one that he had when he did enduro cross and
What's his name?
French check.
I thought so. He works in engine department now.
yeah,
Doesn't
yeah, that's it. So maybe him and Taddy would have.
he? Holcomb. He's got a fair few titles now.
Yeah, Holcomb's had the same mechanic, an
so
Italian mechanic.
He's probably winning then.
Yeah.
He's on 6, I think. isn't he?
Freeman's obviously changed because he changed
Yeah,
from
from
Yarno team to the factory team, so that's a bit different. But yeah,
Who's up there? Who else is up there with the high number of enduro titles? Who's the most?
enduro. It'd be Holcomb.
Oh, with no one on 6. What about that? Mayo.
How many did David Knight win?
I'm not sure.
I think 4.
Salmonen won quite a few back in the day, but it'll be
Might be wrong with Knight, by the way.
Freeman will be
I mean, his brother got 4.
4.
That was different mechanics.
Yeah, because I would have thought it was different teams, wasn't it? So I would have thought it'll be different mechanics. So yeah, we'll see.
We're probably up there.
Interesting.
A couple more years we've fucking smashed it, no problem. Fucking go on.
That's if you don't get sick of it and tell you to fuck off at the end of the year.
No chance. Why is he so grumpy?
Not grumpy.
Sometimes he's a bit grumpy in vlogs.
Yeah, sometimes I am.
I'm very grumpy, to be fair.
Depends what type of day we've
I
had.
don't think you're a grumpy person in general.
No, not in general.
Nah, he's
I'm-
definitely not.
No, I'm
Girlfriend status update. We've had that one.
quite- yeah.
Someone wants an iPhone 13. Please help.
Can't help you there.
Is Husqvarna paying for your flights? Yes, Husqvarna pays for his flights. They don't pay for mine, though.
Is everything paid for from them? From like the minute you leave home?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's
Yeah,
fucking sorted him. He
the
has no
minute-
issues.
No, that's not true. When I go to Italy to work and you're going into the factory every day to work, when you obviously your lunch and tea at night in the apartment and stuff, you have to sort all that out yourself. But as soon as you leave from Italy in the van to a race, whether you stop for lunch, tea, hotel, everything from there is paid for. Everything, because obviously you're
on a
traveling
work
to a
trip,
race, you're
yeah.
on a work trip. Where at the end of the day, if I'm doing the bike in the garage at home, I still have to go and buy my own tea, and it's the same over there. But it's very rarely that. Obviously, I'm not in Italy for like weeks and weeks at a time. If you know what I mean, I'm there probably 3 or 4 days before the race, and then 2 or 3 days after the race, just to clean up and get sorted, and then you're straight back home. So
Cashing in, basically.
I'm not cashing in. I get shafted every month with the euro. to
He's
the
not
pound.
happy now. The euro, the pound strengthening
you
him
get
up.
paid in
he's
euro.
he's
Yeah.
whinging big time now. He's said
it's
shut up
not-
about that for the last few days.
Into a euro account or into a...
No, into
so you don't even get a chance to change it when you want.
no, and I get shot. I'm getting even
I keep
worse
telling
now.
him to, but he's not. I'm going to do it for him. Bless him.
I'm not clued up.
He ain't
enough,
even
but-
got fucking like mobile banking on his phone yet. You know what? You know what he has to do to find out his balance.
No,
He has to go to the bank and get them to print out a receipt with what his balance is.
No, I've worked out what to do. You go to a cash machine now, and you can do it. You can do it on there. You can have a mini printout.
Display balance.
Right. I'm going back to last week's topics now because there was a lot more. There was a lot more in there.
The questions from last week?
Yeah. Well, now it's topped up a bit more.
Are you coming to any outdoor races this year?
Yeah, I think I will.
Good question.
I definitely want to go to Erzberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to do Esbjerg.
Even
Yeah.
No, I think you don't necessarily need to race.
I don't know about racing it, but even if I'd personally like to
Yeah.
drive out there the week before and chuck a load of shit in a van
You
and go and have a
need
play.
to.
And
Yeah, you need to bring your own bike because like Erzberg with you can ride. You get a bib on and,
Yeah, we'll
and
get
ride
you a
around the
bib.
quarry and like do what kind of
yeah, do
whatever
a bit
you
of
want.
filming a while.
I think this year, Erzberg, obviously if it runs and stuff, it's gonna be big because of how many years we've missed it for now. I
Been
think
a while
it's
since
going to be
Erzberg.
good.
Yeah, well, I think if I come to Erzberg, that would be one. I also would like to go to Red Bull Knockout, Tennessee. What, is it called Red Bull Knockout?
Yeah.
TK?
Tennessee knockout.
Tennessee Knockout.
Red Bull Tennessee knockout, I think. Red Bull knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah, or some
It's,
form of an American trip, which I would also like to do with Thomas.
That was
He's
probably one of my favourite rounds last year was TKO.
keen.
The race itself and stuff with the format, it was different. So it was, I think, as I say, I think it was good.
Billy lacks a front rim lock. You don't lack a front rim lock, do we, Lee?
Yeah, we do because we ain't got one in.
Oh, yeah. People still haven't figured that one out. But last time I actually mentioned it in a vlog, everyone was messaging him saying, oh, why don't you run rim locks? That was still definitely put them in the back. I'm not going to be mean to people, but they definitely put them in the back still.
Yeah.
3 of the bloody things.
3.
Yes.
3 in the back, none in the front. Red Bull Husqvarna kit. Nope.
This is nice, not asking the questions. I feel relaxed now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no pressure on me to keep the spiel going. I can just relax.
I think it's gone pretty quick.
Tommy should go and grow a mullet. Don't think that would happen, will it? Do you think he'd suit a mullet? I don't.
No.
No.
Lot of question, lot of Red Bull comments in here, which is understandable. Would you still want to win the Scott trial? Of course. I don't know, winning might be a bit of a stretch, but a gold spoon on the Scott trial is still firmly
Shall we have a trials related 5 minutes?
At the top of my bucket list. I need a gold spoon before I retire.
Trials related 5 minutes?
Go on then. Do you know-
Toby Martin?
He's doing good, very good. Big shout out. He was on 3rd at the X trial. Me and Ed watched it live. Ed wasn't paying much attention. Actually, he was, to be fair to him.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I put X trial on last year and he weren't paying any attention, but this year he's somewhat getting into it.
Yeah.
No, I think he's riding well at the minute.
X trial live stream drags on far too long, though. I will say that.
I don't think it was that bad. It was
Do you
alright.
not?
Nah,
This
fucking-
round was actually a lot better. The first round I fell asleep. I won't lie. But this round, well, maybe it's because Toby was into the final. I was gripped into this one. So
What we watched the other day dragged on.
yeah, we watched British Trials Championship from Hookwoods, and the first video was an hour 10 minutes long, I think.
And that was part 1 of
That
3.
was part 1. Now, part 1 of 2. I've watched both of them. I skipped a little bit. That dragged on because it was a lot boggy and a lot of threes. Quite a hard trial. That wasn't the best. But going back to the Scott trial, Ed doesn't really know what that is, but I think I might enter him for that.
I do know what it is.
What's the Scott trial?
There's 6 days.
I knew he was going to say that.
Is that not right?
No.
Well, what's the Scottish 6 days?
Scottish 6 days is a trial. 6 days in Scotland.
Or what's the
The
Scotland?
Scott trial is 1 day in Yorkshire, time and observation trial. So it's a race and a trial together.
In Yorkshire?
Yeah.
Well, why the fuck's it called Scott?
Because it's sponsored by Scott Leathers. And no, that's not why it's called Scott. It was started, there was
Oh, here we go. Got a history lesson here.
by...
He's a trials. He likes
yeah.
trials, doesn't he? He tries to say he doesn't, and he's gay and all that. But
It was
he's a big trials
started
fan.
as an event to test the reliability of a bike company called The Scott. I think it's Scott or The Scott. I might be wrong there. Please don't shout it as if I'm wrong. Which is how it started back in 100 odd years ago. So that's, and then it's just stuck with its name from that. I'm sure it was called The Scott. Anyway, so it's 2 separate events. One's 1 day, one's 6 days. They're
Well, I
both
got it
hard.
wrong then.
I knew you were going to think they were the same thing. That's why I led you into that one a little bit.
Tit.
Have you ever done the Scott?
No.
Done a Scottish though?
We're doing
Yeah,
the
done
Manx.
Scottish.
Yeah, you've done.
Oh, I
the
need to
Manx.
pay for that actually.
I done the Scottish.
Did you win?
Not quite. No. We were on about this the other day. I think like when I did it in 15, so I was still like active on a bike and stuff. So I was still riding, and it didn't kill you, but it's like riding across the moors on the trials bike with no seat. Like my back was in bits, and I think to do it now, like I don't even think I could do it. I think it'll take its toll.
Bread cake, cob, roll, barn, tea cake. What is it?
Say that again. I wasn't listening.
Bread cake, cob, roll, barn, or tea cake. What is it?
Stotty.
It's not a stotty. It's, well, I'd say bun.
I'd say tea cake.
You'd say tea cake, would you?
I don't know. What type of bread is it?
Well, just a bun. A bacon. What? Right,
Like to put
what'd you say? A bacon.
To put something in?
Yeah.
Cob.
You'd say cob.
Bacon cob.
What are you? A bap, because you're fucking half Welsh.
Yeah, bap.
You still think she's Welsh. I'd say bun. Me and obviously growing up and stuff, when you start riding motorbikes and making friends from all over the country and stuff, me and Jack Price used to have that debate regularly. His was a tea cake in his house, and I obviously used to stay at his quite a lot. His was probably my first house where I started lodging.
This is gripping content, isn't it?
Well, it's relatable, isn't it?
Honestly, did you hear that conversation when Billy Ed and Stan were talking about fucking tea cakes?
Yeah. Well, what does you call it? Comment.
This bit won't be making a cut for Instagram.
He bought me some tea bags yesterday.
Fucking hell! I didn't realise the price of the bastard things. we went right. We had an off-peak return, so we couldn't get the train home until after peak time was finished.
From your big day out in London.
Big day out in London. So we had a wander around Covent Garden. We watched some bloke do a limbo under a fire. A pole that was on fire.
For 35 minutes.
Fuck me, dragged his shot. His only stunt was his limbo under the pole, and we were stood there, I'd say more than 35 minutes.
He had this thing with nails sticking out, and I thought, he's going to walk on these nails, or he's going to put it somewhere like that. The nails he did the limbo, and the nails were there in case he didn't make the limbo. It would have gone straight in the back of his head. That's all it was.
But it was 10 seconds, and he hyped it up for 35 minutes.
How much money did you give him?
No, because he was begging too hard. Like, he was really begging hard. Way too hard, so we walked off and then. So anyway, we had about 20 minutes to kill, and we're wandering down the street, and I couldn't be asked to do any shopping. He couldn't be asked to do any shopping.
He rang one shop to see if they had a camera.
Let me guess, he wanted an A7 IV.
Yeah, fucking on and stop. Why is Sony? There's fucking 3 Sony fuckers here. We've bought loads in the past. You should be giving us cameras for free.
Well, that's what you asked for a minute ago. Does anyone want anything for free? Ask Sony politely.
A7 IV, but no one's got stock.
Why don't you ask Sony Europe and Sony UK?
Sony Europe and Sony UK. Please, can I have a Sony A7 IV? I buy it. I just want one that's in stock somewhere. Please. So anyway, I looked on Google. There's only like a couple of camera shops in walking distance. They didn't have stock. We walked past the shop. It says more than 1,000 teas on offer. So the one we got was Stan's I've never seen him drink so fast. He's like, I don't even need sugar in this one. He's going, I like this. So I said, we'll buy some. So you could buy it from the shop. So we first said it was Bourbon Rouge what we got. I said, can we have some Bourbon Rouge? So they got a big barrel out and said, how many grams do you want? I said, I think we just need bags. We don't need to be measuring grams of tea. So I said, I will have 2 boxes for he could keep on. I could have one. How much do you reckon for a box of tea bags?
Well, London prices, so it could be something stupid like 15 quid or something.
£18 each per box. 36 quid on fucking tea bags.
But they are good.
They're very good though. I thought because it's in a bag, it's probably not going to taste as good as it did. And when we sat down and had it, but it was up there. So there we go. That concludes Billy and Stan's adventures in London. Don't know when we're going back. Probably not in a rush.
Got a good place for a party though, haven't we?
Yeah, Red Bull UK said we can have a party or launch something or basically do whatever we want there. So give her an occasion.
What should we do? Let's think of an idea then.
World Championship indoor party.
Oh yeah, good idea, Stan.
Got cancelled.
Yeah, well, we haven't had one yet.
Exactly, because the one got cancelled. Why don't we
and launch something new?
Some new merch.
We're going to start off on some.
What about a World Championship T-shirt? Bit delayed.
Funny you should mention that.
It's a bit delayed.
We've had a slow week on that front, but it's somewhat ready. I think by the end of today, we're going to have to phone manufacturer and say, look, you need to get your finger out and do this double quick time because we're running out of time before I'm not world champion. Well, I suppose we've got a while for that, but still. We're going to try it. We've got some designs back. We need a couple of little tweaks, but it'll be ready to go pretty soon. I reckon we'll let Tommy have his lunch and do his thingy-majingy, and then by that time, probably the next week, we should be ready to go with a World Championship T-shirt, which I'm pretty stoked on. It looks quite sick, to be fair.
Do I get one of them?
What?
Do I get one of them? Are you going to give me one of them? Or?
You can probably have one of them as well.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
It costs more than like it costs.
25%?
No, I'll give you that one at cost.
Okay.
So it's going to be worth the wait because I'm pretty happy with it. It looks proper bad boy, to be fair. Our in-house.
Do you know what I don't like them doing merch?
Why?
because it takes away the sales from keks.
Yeah, but it fucking drives the underpants sales. It's 50. It's
No,
just
it's
give
all
or
good.
take.
It's
What
all
do you
good.
reckon? It does.
Depends,
It
it
does
does.
have a negative impact on the clothing sales of keks.
Well, like, look, we're in it together, winning in weddings and funerals. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. I'm not really that
At the
bothered.
end of the day, he wins, you win.
Well, not really, because I don't take anything out of it.
No, that's true.
It's clothing,
That's
but
true.
people on the website might buy some socks.
Yeah.
It don't really make no difference to me. In the end, it's all
Life will go on.
life goes on. Yeah.
There we go.
Come on, Quizmaster.
Oh, we're going. We're not more questions. Okay, but we
Well,
should.
you was taking helm, and I was enjoying 5 minutes of.
Easiest way to not really very suitable for either used to. Easiest way to get bike fit. Ride your bike. That was kind of one of me.
Why don't you give us one that we can extend into a bit of a longer chat, and then that can be the final topic. Seeing as we've done an hour and 40 minutes, and I'm going to have to listen to this again.
I'd say the last 40 minutes has been all right.
Would you? Well, last 40 minutes.
Well, we ain't said anything bad.
Oh no, yeah, that's true.
I haven't got to cut anything.
A lot of questions about money.
Yeah, it's a bit of a vulgar topic.
Oh, yeah, well, money. How much do the top riders make? Everyone seems to think that you guys have a Lambo. I can assure you that no hard enduro rider has a Lambo, and no one's even close to getting a Lambo.
No.
Tommy back in the day probably could have had one, but he definitely can't have one now. Is that accurate, Ed?
He wouldn't have bought one anyway.
Nah, but yeah, maybe did bad when he should have done good to probably get in the Lambo category. Do you reckon?
He wouldn't buy one. He doesn't like anything other than... He doesn't like anything.
You pick one. You have a go.
The stress of this.
Yeah, well, because most of them are tailored towards me, but then that's just me talking, innit? So you pick something you want to talk about for 10 minutes.
All right. Are you going to do a round of Revo against Tommy?
I would like to do a British motocross championship. I just haven't rode any motocross at all for the last few months. So
It's got a motocross bike now, you have?
and it's not ready yet, and you know that it's not. He sent the motocross bike to Spain, and I walked in and it was just bone stock, Edward.
Still?
Still, not a single bit of blue, and I said, I can't turn up to a track with this thing.
What, you want some clamps
But
and a few
anyway,
bits?
winning the championship and expressing my opinion about it at the same time appears to have worked. I've got some bits on the way.
Surely you can just take all the bits off his Super Enduro bike.
I can, but he's just...
I want proper bits.
He wants...
Well, yeah, that's got brakes on it.
Yeah, but I
Clamps.
want proper bits. The motocross, we're basically stock compared to when you look at the motocross team's bike.
factory motocross
Yeah,
bits.
I want factory shit.
Right, they proper bits.
Well, they're a different level to us, aren't they? Aren't they, Stan?
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
There's a lot of... Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of questions on here for you.
Then there's a lot of Red Bull,
Yeah, there is a lot of Red Bull.
which is understandable because it's the sixth thing ever.
Minge. Thank you, Neil.
That one wasn't even... Stan wasn't even in that asking of it.
No, just...
Isn't it funny how what we say just sticks?
I know.
The people love it. They're in general... I get a bit soppy here, but the whole response we do get to all of what we do is pretty mad, in it to think about it. If you think like 2 years ago, none of this existed. Vlogs didn't exist.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's definitely... I don't know. I see a lot of things where people say, thanks for putting the content out on Tommy's channel, on yours as well. But yes, it is. It's mind-blowing. You sort of just do it for the crack, really, and do it to help your mates and that. And then all of a sudden everyone's pretty pumped on it. And
You just, like, even from my side, you don't realise how big it actually is.
yeah, it's
when
got big, hasn't it?
It's crazy. Yeah.
I think it's actually like, not to blow our own horns too hard here, but like it's definitely pushing British motocross and it's pushing enduro as a whole. I would say massively. I think it's getting so much coverage, not like just for our channels, my channel, his channel, but just races in general. Like Super Enduro was massively followed. I know Hard Enduro last year was, obviously. Manny is also, we're obviously the two riders at the top of it and both pretty active and not pushing hard, like we're not forcing anything, but we're personalities are out there and it's there for people to enjoy if they want, and people seem to be doing so. So
Do you know what I find myself doing sometimes is not. It's more of a memory. Like you make a video and you think, oh, that was cool, that happened, you won that, or you did this and that, and then all of a sudden it will start playing on YouTube randomly. Like,
Yeah, no,
I catch myself watching.
Honestly, I do that all the time. I just sit back and watch an old vlog.
Yeah.
Even like the ones I've done or whatever. I'm like, fucking hell, actually, this is actually sick. And like that's one that from the start I wanted to make the thing I stood like. Everyone puts a camera in the face and they go, oh, this is cringy, I can't do this, and they hate it. But like, I always felt like I wanted to make sure my videos were like, if they came on in a random room that I was in or whatever, like they were watchable. And to be fair, I think that's one of the things I'm quite proud of with my channel in all my videos. Like, I'll watch an old one now and I'll actually sit back and enjoy it. And there's a lot of things you forget. And I think now in like 10 years' time, we're going to have so much cool shit to look back on. It's
well, everyone's got a character now. Like people like Roxy, Stan. You've obviously, when you went to TKO, everyone was shouting Stan.
Mad. The amount of people
America.
in America were going mad for Stan. Like,
Yeah.
it was sick.
Do you know what it all relates back to as well, though? Like, even from your merch sales, when you very first put it on, Kex has obviously sold a little bit all over the world into different places. But I noticed from the areas that you race, when your sales started going, it was like Australia, not that you've raced there, but like Poland, Romania, loads of different like pockets of the country or the world that we hadn't sold to before.
Yeah, I guess that is despite we might as well touch on like the Israel thing a little bit because we've both briefly mentioned it and sniggered about it. Like that's the cool thing about going to these like new places, and like it is going to benefit the sport and my following, the other guys' following, stuff like that. It's hard work to get there. Like I think the championships had a difficult time because in order to grow and expand, it doesn't need to go to them places. It needs to go to America again. It needs to go to Canada. It needs to go to all these new places. But at the same time, going to them places is so hard. I know how hard it is just for the factory team and for us to go do so. For the privateer guys, like it must be a big cost, and for them guys, so that bit makes it hard for them guys. And because that is one of the special things about hard enduro is that like your average Joe can turn up and he can race in the same race. He's going to be in the same paddock. They're all like mass participation events. So that's what makes hard enduro special. Now that we're starting to travel further afield and go to these flyaway races and stuff like that, it makes it a lot harder for them. But I think at the same time, in order for the championship to grow, it does need to go to these new markets and stuff. I think what we have to make sure we do and remember is that the rounds that are in Europe that are going to be well supported by the original people is that they're as special, if not more special, than they ever were, and that the people that do go to them enjoy it, which I think we will. I think the fact we are going to these faraway races is only going to really benefit we're in the long run and bring more people in and hopefully bring more money in, bring more teams in, get more professional riders, bring more kids in. I will add, there's a junior championship. Did you know that this year?
Nope.
As part of the world, running alongside the world championship, there's a junior championship this year, which I think is 4 or 5 of the rounds.
That's cool.
I'd guess just not the flyaway rounds, but.
So what would you be called? Junior World Champion?
Yeah, Junior World Champion, Junior Hard Enduro, FIM,
oh, mint.
Junior Hard Enduro World Champion, which is a sick opportunity for young kids out there, because I guess at a lot of the races until now, without a junior class, people might not realise who's a junior, who's not a junior. You know, one set of results. I guess having a junior results category puts you in the factory's eyes and in stuff like that, team manager's eyes a lot more.
It's a lot easier to say, oh, he's come first, second or third than 58th, but he was the first junior.
You know who the kids are.
You might get the factory teams
support,
then supporting a junior rider to bring them under the tent, as it were. So
I think that's probably the championships goals and stuff like that. And obviously,
got to bring in the new talent. You are getting old now.
Early stages. No, I've got plenty of years left, don't you? With any kids couldn't hear me, I'll stick their nut on you, no problem. No, but I think in general, it's really good that that's happening, and hopefully, like I say, it gets more people rides and more people to compete in the full championship, and all goes well. We're nearly at the end of the stack. I reckon we've got about.
Do you agree with that, Stan?
Yeah. No. I think anything to do with the junior wise, as long as it's well supported, I think it's good.
I think junior championship will be quite good this year between Matt Green, Oswalski, Suff.
Yeah. No, there is the Brightmore.
Yeah, is he going to do? I don't know if he's doing the full championship, but Yeah, I think
No, it's at the end of the day.
between
it's-
them, I probably if you're a junior and I've missed you off, sorry, call us out. Just call Sam a twat and I've missed you off. I won't take offence to that.
Is it the junior? Is it under 23 or is it under 21? It's going to be. I'm not sure what
I
the.
guess it'd be the same as Super Enduro, wouldn't it? It's just 23.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, we don't really know
Not
the
really
rules. Yeah, I'm sure you're going to.
Yeah, like
don't
normal.
turn up if you're 24 or 25. Don't turn up and go, oh, I want to be in a junior
That's sort of
championship.
what we do, isn't it? We sort of say what we know and then go, but we don't really know.
We put the feelers out there.
I tell you what, then, putting the feelers out there, on the last episode, you put the feelers out there about the British or Britain or UK having a super enduro. Any news on that?
If something does happen, the people need to get behind it because
Yeah.
it has a massive opportunity. And if someone was to do it, they're putting their neck on the line because it's not cheap to have around, and it's definitely not cheap to have a stadium or an arena in the UK.
No, I agree. But yeah, I think, like we said last time, it'll be mint if it does. If it comes off and there's a race.
Now's the time.
Now is the time, and what better way than having a night out with your mates or your family or wherever, a couple of beers and watching this twat try and jump
Exactly.
stupid logs.
As I say, I think everyone has like the amount of people or English people that have travelled abroad just to watch the Super Enduro. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's not loads of them, but at one round there could be 30, 40 of them that have gone with the mates. And to have like that in England where we can have, I don't know, 6,000-7,000 spectators in an arena would be unreal.
That'll probably do a week, will it, Ed? Just under?
Yeah, that's spot on.
That should get with food to next week for merch orders.
Right.
Do I get one of them with my merch when I buy it?
No, we're going to save costs and not put it in yours. Just kidding. Just one more plug. If you do order my merch, you get one of these in every order. Preferably order more than just a sticker pack, but if that's all you can afford, we don't discriminate. That'd be great also. Every little helps. Have I done enough?
Every
plugging?
little helps, does it?
Yeah, every little helps. It all get.
Who are you, Tesco?
It's all going to help me get this new camera eventually when it becomes in stock. And a laptop.
And new camera, new laptop means more videos, more content.
Exactly. Sony, I want an A7 IV.
Shall we wrap her up?
Wrap her up.
Anything else to add?
Nah, that was
Have you
nice.
enjoyed your third episode?
Yeah, I have enjoyed
Will you
it.
come back again?
Yeah, it needs to be a while yet. Need to have some races under our belts.
Yeah,
don't we?
something to talk
So
about.
it's to
Yeah.
talk about. There we go.
Mid-season.
All right, we'll get you back in.
See you in a bit.
Not yet.
Right.
Our plan is to get Nathan Watson on one of these. Pretty sharpish. Hopefully this week. We're making the most of Bill being here. And also, we're going to give Bill a audio recording device so he can do some on his
Oh
travels.
yeah, we still haven't tested that out yet.
No, but we can test that. We got time this week.
Right.
Cool. Thanks for
Ta-ra.
watching. Don't forget about the giveaway. Raptor.
Raptor.
Don't
Their
forget about
Instagram
them.
page.
Yeah.
Follow them, like them, do whatever we said. Can't remember. It'll all be in the description as well.
Message them saying Billy's the best ambassador
Tell
they
you
could
what, do
ever
us-
possibly picked.
Do us another favour as well. Log on to iTunes and leave us a review or 5-star it or tell us we're great on there or something, and it'll pump up the algorithm.
Yeah, algorithm. Similar.
See you in a bit.